Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON founder Acharya and our preeminent Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taruvyaschа Kripa Sindhu Vya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
We welcome all of you to our weekly Krishna book classes. Thank you very much for joining. We have with us here Auntie Neeta, Aja, Divina, Dipti Adnani, Divya, Kamala Nandini Mataji. Then we have Karuna. We have Kim. Then we have Lavina Dadlani, Manju Nihalani, Minakshi, N.C. Venkatchari, Naresh Budrani. Then my husband is there. My parents are there. Then we have Ritu Lalwani. We have Romi, Shailesh Latkar. Then we have Shantaram and Sheetal Latkar. Good to have you back. And then we have Shriya Kalaria. We have Shri Radhe Hari Devi Dasi. We have Swapna Latkar, Upasna Dalai, and Vivansh. Okay. So in the previous class, we saw the deliverance of which two personalities?
Nala Kuvera Manigriva.
Aha. Nalakuvera and Manigriva, who were the sons of
Kuver.
Kuvera, no? So we saw how Srila Prabhupada explains that they were delivered by Krishna only because it was a desire of Narada Muni. Narada Muni wanted that they are delivered, therefore Krishna delivered them. No, so as long as we don't meet a devotee, as long as we are not face to face with a devotee, as long as we don't receive the mercy of a devotee, how can we receive the mercy of Krishna? We saw how Manigriva and Nalakuvera received the mercy of Krishna because prior to that they had received the mercy of Narada Muni, a pure devotee. No. So, Srila Prabhupada explains how when one is face to face with the sun, then there is no question of darkness. There is no question of darkness. So, when one is face to face with a devotee, there is no question of material bondage. There is no question of material bondage. But unless one does not associate with a devotee, unless one does not come in touch with a pure devotee, then there is no question of liberation. Until that point, bondage will continue. Until that point, bondage will continue. But let's say one is facing the sun. No, the sun has risen, and one is facing the sun. But still, the darkness does not go away. When does that happen? When can that possibly happen? One is facing the sun and the darkness still does not go away. It happens when the person is
Closing his eyes.
when the person is closing his eyes, or if the person is blind, no. So in the same way, the darkness will not be dissipated if one has demoniac mentality, or if one is committing offenses, one is committing sinful activities, then the darkness will not be then the darkness will not go away. So one should, yes, associate with devotees, and also one should uh, get rid of one's bad habits, get rid of offenses, get rid of sinful activities. If one is holding on to sinful activities, if one is holding on to committing offenses, then how will the heart be uh, cured, or how will the impurities be removed from the heart? No? So, of course, when we chant the holy name, there are no rules and regulations. There are no rules and regulations because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has relaxed all the rules and regulations. But that does not mean that I commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name, because then we are committing an offense against the holy name. So when we at least try when we put in our effort, no, because it's not so easy to give up a bad habit that we may be following from so many years. No, somebody may be very attached to meat eating or intoxication or gambling or such things, but at least we have to try our best, put in our effort, parishramam. We saw in Damodar, the importance of parishram, the importance of effort. So at least we should try, and then Krishna will um, he will show us his magic, how we will be able to overcome our bad habits. Okay. So today we will be seeing, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, chapter 11 from the Krishna book. This chapter is titled Killing of the Demons, Vatsāsura and Bakāsura. There are many things happening in this chapter. So before we could start the chapter, let's remember, where is Krishna right now? He is bound still. He is still bound to the wooden mortar. He's still bound to the grinding mortar. He has released Nalakovera and Manigriva, but Krishna himself is still bound to that mortar. So we will see how now Nanda Maharaj comes, and he will open up the ropes and he will release Krishna from the grinding mortar. So that is happening in this chapter. And then there is a meeting of all these elderly men in Gokul, and they decide that there are far too many disturbances going on, and then they make this plan and they decide and they relocate to Vrindavan. they go from Gokul to Vrindavan. So we will see the relocation here. So actually this Damodar Leela was a Leela that triggered the relocation of the residents of Gokul, and then they all went to Vrindavan. We also see in this chapter how Krishna gives his mercy to a fruit seller. And then Krishna also starts to herd the calves. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that how when Krishna was 3 years old, he was allowed and he started to herd the calves in the forest. No, so that Leela is happening here. And then we also see the other pastimes of Krishna and Balaram in the forest. And we also see how Krishna delivers Vatsāsura and Bakāsura, the two demons in this chapter. When the twin Arjuna trees fell to the ground, making a sound like the falling of thunderbolts, all the inhabitants of Gokul, including Nanda Maharaj, immediately came to the spot. They were very much astonished to see how the two great trees had suddenly fallen. Because they could find no reason for their falling down, they were puzzled. When they saw child Krishna bound up to the wooden mortar by the ropes of Mother Yashoda, they thought that it must have been caused by some demon. Otherwise, how was it possible? At the same time, they were very much perturbed because such uncommon incidents were always happening to child Krishna. While the cowherd men were thus contemplating, the small children who were playing there informed the men that the trees had fallen because Krishna had pulled the wooden mortar with the ropes binding him. Krishna came in between the two trees, they explained, and the wooden mortar was topsy-turvied and stuck in between the trees. Krishna pulled the rope and the trees fell down. When the trees fell down, the two very dazzling men came out of the trees and they said something to Krishna. Most of the cowherd men did not believe the statement of the children. They could not believe that such things were at all possible. Some of the men, however, believed them and told Nanda Maharaj, "Your child is different from all other children. He just might have done it." Nanda Maharaj smiled to hear about the extraordinary abilities of his son. He came forward and untied the knot just to free his wonderful child. After being freed by Nanda Maharaj, Krishna was taken unto the laps of the elder gopis. They took him away to the courtyard of the house and began to clap, praising his wonderful activities. Krishna danced along with their clapping just like an ordinary child. The Supreme Lord Krishna, being completely controlled by the gopis, sang and danced just like a puppet in their hands. Sometimes Mother Yashoda used to ask Krishna to bring her a wooden plank for sitting. Although the wooden plank was too heavy to be carried by a child, still somehow or other Krishna would bring it to his mother. Sometimes his father, while worshipping Narayan, would ask him to bring his wooden slippers, and Krishna with great difficulty would put the slippers on his head and bring them to his father. When he was asked to lift some heavy article and was unable to lift it, he would simply move his arms. In this way, daily, at every moment, he was a reservoir of all pleasure for his parents. The Lord was exhibiting such childish dealings with the inhabitants of Vrindavan because he wanted to show the great philosophers and sages searching after the absolute truth how the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead, is controlled by and subject to the desires of his pure devotees. One day, a fruit vendor came before the house of Nanda Maharaj. Upon hearing the vendor call, "If anyone wants fruits, please come and take them from me." Child Krishna immediately took some grains in his palms and went to get fruits in exchange. In those days, exchange was by barter. Therefore, Krishna might have seen his parents acquire fruits and other things by bartering grain, and so he imitated. But his palms were very small, and he was not very careful to hold the grains tight, so he was dropping them. The vendor who came to sell fruits saw this and was very much captivated by the beauty of the Lord. So she immediately accepted whatever few grains were left in his palms and filled his hands with fruits. In the meantime, the vendor saw that her whole basket of fruit had become filled with jewels. The Lord is the bestower of all benedictions. If someone gives something to the Lord, he is not the loser, he is the gainer by 1,000,000 times. So see, even the smallest of service we do to Krishna, Krishna feels obliged. He feels obliged to his devotee, even for the smallest of service that we render. And Krishna never forgets any service that one does for him. And one is bound to receive million times more than what one has given to the Lord. So there is nothing to lose. There is nothing to lose. We only stand to gain. See, in this case, this fruit vendor, she received very small, some few grains only she received from Krishna, but in return, Krishna filled her basket with jewels. And apart from this, Krishna also gave her the greatest blessing, which is Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema. Krishna also gave her love of God. So, and also it's very interesting to see in this pastime how Krishna was not able to hold even a handful of grains. By the time he brought the grains to this fruit vendor, hardly any few grains were left. No, but when she gave him fruits, he was able to carry all those fruits. Yes, he was able to take. Okay, one day Lord Krishna. Okay, what name of Krishna did we see in the previous class, which means that he gives the best benedictions, he gives the best blessings. We saw one name in the previous class. He is the highest bestower of benedictions. He gives the best blessings. In this
Varadishwara.
Huh?
Varadishwara.
Yes, Varada Ishvara. No, Varada Ishvara means he is the highest of the bestower of benedictions. Very nice. One day, Lord Krishna, the liberator of the twin Arjuna trees, was playing with Balaram and the other children on the bank of the Yamuna, and because it was already late in the morning, Rohini, the mother of Balaram, went to call them back home. But Balaram and Krishna were so engrossed in playing with their friends that they did not wish to go back. They just engaged themselves in playing more and more. When Rohini was unable to take them back home, she went home and sent Mother Yashoda to call them again. Mother Yashoda was so affectionate toward her son that as soon as she came out to call him back home, her breast filled up with milk. She loudly cried, "My dear child, please come back home. Your time for lunch is already past." She then said, "My dear Krishna, my dear lotus-eyed child, please come and suck my breast. You have played enough. You must be very hungry, my dear little child. You must be tired from playing for so long." She also addressed Balaram thus, "My dear Rama, the glory of your family, my dear child, please come back with your younger brother Krishna immediately. You have been engaged in playing since early morning and you must be very tired. Please come back and take your lunch at home. Your father Nandaraj is waiting for you. He has to eat, and so you must come back so that he can eat." See, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he comments that the reason why Sukadeva Goswami is narrating this pastime to Maharaj Parikshit of how Mother Rohini went to call back the boys when they were playing, but she was not able to bring them back, and then Mother Yashoda went. No, so he explains the reason why this pastime is being narrated is to show how much more potent is the love that Mother Yashoda has for the boys compared to the love that Mother Rohini has. No, so he explains that how Mother Yashoda's love is so much more intense, and therefore she is able to attract Krishna. As soon as Krishna and Balaram heard that Nanda Maharaj was waiting for them and could not take his food in their absence, they started to return. Their playmates complained, "Krishna is leaving us just at the point when our playing is at the summit. Next time we shall not allow him to leave." His playmates then threatened not to allow him to play with him again. Krishna became afraid and instead of going back home, he went back again to play with the boys. At that time, Mother Yashoda scolded the children and told Krishna, "My dear Krishna, do you think that you are a street boy? You have no home. Please come back to your home. I see that your body has become very dirty from playing since early morning. Now come home and take your bath. Besides, today is your birthday ceremony. Therefore, you should come back home and give cows in charity to the Brahmanas. Don't you see how your playmates are decorated with ornaments by their mothers? You should also be cleansed and decorated with nice dress and ornaments. Please therefore come back, take your bath, dress yourself nicely, and then again you may go on playing." So see the different techniques that Mother Yashoda is using to bring Krishna back. No, first First, she kindles his interest by saying that, okay, we have to give charity, so please come. And then she awakens his competitive spirit by saying that, see, your friends are beautifully decorated by their mother, so you should also be nicely decorated. So like this, she tries to bring Krishna back. In this way, Mother Yashoda called back Lord Krishna and Balaram, who are worshipable by great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. She was thinking of them as her children. When Mother Yashoda's children, Krishna and Balaram, came home, she bathed them very nicely and dressed them with ornaments. She then called for the Brahmanas, and through her children she gave many cows in charity for the occasion of Krishna's birthday. In this way, she performed the birthday ceremony of Krishna at home. So, see, this is how birthdays were celebrated, by giving charity to the Brahmanas, not like in the modern times. We have parties, then we open champagne and so much other nonsense. No, but see, this is the way birthdays are celebrated. Yeah, Shailesh Latkar, you have your hand raised.
It says here that she then called for the Brahmanas, and through her children she gave many cows in charity. But only Krishna is her child. Why does it say children?
Because she doesn't differentiate between Balaram and Krishna. They are raising both Rohini and Yashoda together. They are raising Krishna and Balaram. Okay. After this incident, all the elder cowherd men assembled together and Nanda Maharaj presided. They began to consult among themselves how to stop the great disturbances in Mahavan on account of the demons. In this meeting, Upananda, the brother of Nanda Maharaj, was present. He was considered to be learned and experienced, and he was a well-wisher of Krishna and Balaram. He was a leader, and he addressed the meeting as follows. My dear friends, now we should leave here for another place, because we are continually finding that great demons are coming here to disturb the peaceful situation, and they are especially attempting to kill the small children. Just consider Putana and Krishna. It was simply by the grace of Lord Hari that Krishna was saved from the hands of such a great demon. Next, the whirlwind demon took Krishna away into the sky, but by the grace of Lord Hari he was saved, and the demon fell down on a stone slab and died. Very recently, this child was playing between the two trees, and the trees fell down violently, and yet there was no injury to the child. So Lord Hari saved him again. So who is Upananda?
He's Nanda's brother.
He's
Maharaj's
the
brother.
elder brother. Actually, he's the elder brother of Nanda Maharaj, very experienced and a very learned personality. So he was a leader, and he is giving this advice that we should actually relocate, because there are too many disturbances by the demons. How many demons have we read so far that Krishna has delivered?
2, 3.
Who are they? Who are the three?
4.
Putana?
Whirlwind.
The whirlwind demon. What's his name?
Trinavarta.
Trinavarta. Yes, Trinavarta. Very nice. And one more demon?
Sakatasura.
Yes, Shakatasura. No, the card demon. Very nice. So Putana, Shakatasura, and Trinavarta we have seen so far. And what does this name mean? Hari. Lord Hari.
Lord Hari is Krishna.
Krishna's name.
Is a God.
Yeah, Hari means one who takes away. One who takes away. So what does Krishna take away from us?
What is not good for us for spiritual advancement?
Yes, what is not good for our spirituality, what is not good for our spiritual advancement, Krishna will take it away. In the case of Nalakubar and Manigriva, their opulence, Krishna or his devotees is same thing, because devotees are extending the mercy of Krishna. So in the case of Manigriva and Nalakovera, we saw how their opulence was taken away for their own spiritual well-being. Now there is another case where Krishna gave someone lot of opulence, because him not having the opulence was not good for his spiritual well-being. Who was that personality?
Sudama.
Sudama, yes, Sudama. Because we know Sudama was a very, very poor Brahman. There was he didn't have enough to even support his family. And whatever I mean, see, brahmanas, they are allowed to go and beg from other households, no, but he would not even go and beg from other households. If something came on its own accord, then the family would have something to eat. So it is described how his wife was very she had become very weak because of poverty, and once in a while when there was something to eat, she would give it to her husband, no, and so she would starve. And Srila Jiva Goswami actually explains that Sudama was proud of his renunciation. He was proud of his renunciation. He was proud of his poverty. So Krishna gave him so much opulence so that his pride in being poor, his pride in being renounced is gone. So Krishna will take away anything that is not good for your spiritual well-being. Just imagine the calamity if this child or any other child playing with him were crushed by the falling trees. Considering all these incidents, we must conclude that this place is no longer safe. Let us leave. We have all been saved from different calamities by the grace of Lord Hari. Now we should be cautious and leave this place and reside somewhere where we can live peacefully. I think that we should all go to the forest known as Vrindavana, where just now there are newly grown plants and herbs. It is very suitable for pasturing ground for our cows, and we and our families, the gopis with their children, can very peacefully live there. Near Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, which is very beautiful, and there are newly grown grass and fodder for the animals, so there will be no difficulty in living there. I therefore suggest that we start immediately for that beautiful place, as there is no need to waste any more time. Let us prepare all our carts immediately, and if you like, let us go, keeping all the cows in front. So remember, they are a cowherd community, and cows for them is their wealth. No? So they very perfectly take care of the cows. On hearing the statements of Upananda, all the cowherd men immediately agreed. Let us immediately go there. Everyone then loaded all their household furniture and utensils onto the carts and prepared to go to Vrindavan. All the children, women, and old men of the village were arranged on seats, and the cowherd men equipped themselves with bows and arrows to follow the carts. All the cows and bulls were placed in front along with their calves, and the men with their bows and arrows surrounded the herds and carts and began to blow on their horns and bugles. In this way, with tumultuous sound, they started for Vrindavan.
Where are they moving from? Sorry.
From Gokul. From Gokul, they're going to Vrindavan.
Okay.
And who can describe the damsels of Vraja? They were all seated on the carts and were very beautifully dressed with ornaments and costly saris. They chanted the pastimes of child Krishna as usual. Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini were seated on a separate cart, and Krishna and Balaram were seated on their laps. While Mother Rohini and Yashoda were riding on the cart, they talked to Krishna and Balaram. And feeling the pleasure of such talks, they looked very, very beautiful. So you can see here, it is described that how Krishna and Balaram could not bear to be separated from each other, and how the mothers could not bear to be separated from their children. So they sat in a separate cart. They sat, the two women, they sat with their children. In this way, after reaching Vrindavan, where everyone lives eternally, very peacefully and happily, they encircled Vrindavan, drew all the carts together in a half circle, and in this way constructed a temporary residence. When Krishna and Balaram saw the beautiful appearance of Vrindavan, Govardhan Hill, and the banks of the river Yamuna, they felt very happy. As they grew up, they began talking with their parents and others in childish language, and thus they gave great pleasure to all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Soon Krishna and Balaram had grown sufficiently to be given charge of the calves. So this is the time when they are now given the charge to take care. To take the calves for herding, no, for herding. So this is called as the Vatsāsura Leela. Vatsāsura Leela. Cowherd boys from the very beginning of their childhood are trained to take care of the cows, and their first responsibility is to take care of the little calves. So along with the other little cowherd boys, Krishna and Balaram went into the pasturing ground and took charge of the calves, and there they played with their playmates. While taking charge of the calves, sometimes the two brothers played on their flutes, and sometimes they played with amalaka fruits and bale fruits, just as small children play with balls. Sometimes they danced and made tinkling sounds with their ankle bells. Sometimes they made themselves into bulls and cows by covering themselves with blankets. Thus Krishna and Balaram played. The two brothers also used to imitate the sounds of bulls and cows and play like two bulls fighting. Sometimes they used to imitate the sounds of various animals and birds. In this way, they enjoyed their childhood pastimes apparently like ordinary mundane children. So they enjoyed childhood pastimes apparently like ordinary mundane children, but that doesn't mean that they are ordinary mundane children. They are still the supreme personalities of Godhead. Once, when Krishna and Balaram were playing on the bank of the Yamuna, a demon of the name Vatsāsura assumed the shape of a calf and came there intending to kill the brothers. By taking the shape of a calf, the demon could mingle with the other calves. Krishna, however, specifically noticed this and he immediately alerted Balaram about the entrance of the demon. Both brothers then silently approached him. Krishna caught hold of the demon calf by the two hind legs and tail, whipped him around very forcibly, and threw him up into a tree. The demon lost his life and fell down from the top of the tree to the ground. When the demon lay dead on the ground, all the playmates of Krishna congratulated him. Well done, well done, and the demigods in the sky showered flowers with great satisfaction. In this way, the maintainers of the complete creation, Krishna and Balaram, used to take care of the calves every day, beginning in the morning, and thus they enjoyed their childhood pastimes as cowherd boys in Vrindavan. Yeah, Hari, your hand raised.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Good.
Hare Krishna.
So one small doubt. So this incident, what we are discussing now, is happening after the Krishna celebrated his first year, right? That's my understanding. Because after in the first year he killed Trinavarta, then I think this incident, what we are discussing, is happening. Is my understanding correct?
He is about 3 years old right now. 3 years old. Because
Oh,
after
3 years.
yeah, because when we discussed now, Mother Yashoda celebrated Krishna's birthday. When she went to call him, that time he was 3 years old. So now he's approx 3 years old.
Okay. So basically, then everybody feels that Krishna is not safe, so they are moving from Gokul to Vrindavan, right?
Yes,
Is that
yes,
correct?
yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So this demon Vatsāsura has taken the form of a calf, no? And it is described how this demon Vatsāsura was considering in what form should I go and kill Krishna. So then he says, okay, let me take the form of a calf because cows are very dear to Krishna. And therefore, even if Krishna was to discover me, then he will not kill me because I'm in the form of a calf. So he specifically takes the form of a calf for this reason. But still, of course, Krishna killed him because he knows that he's an impostor. This is not a calf, this is actually a demon. One day, all the cowherd boys went to the bank of the river Yamuna to water their calves. When the calves drank water from the Yamuna, the boys also drank. After drinking, when they were sitting on the bank of the river, they saw a huge animal which looked something like a heron and was as big as a hill. Its top was as strong as a thunderbolt. When they saw that unusual animal, they became afraid of it. The name of this beast was Bakāsura, and he was a friend of Kamsa's. He appeared on the scene suddenly and immediately attacked Krishna with his pointed, sharp beak and quickly swallowed him up. When Krishna was thus swallowed, all the boys, headed by Balaram, became almost breathless, as if they had died. But when the Bakāsura demon was swallowing up Krishna, he felt a burning, fiery sensation in his throat. This was due to the glowing effulgence of Krishna. The demon quickly threw Krishna up and tried to kill him by pinching him with his beak. So the second demon is Bakāsura, and of course all these demons are very, very huge and very formidable demons. No, they are not ordinary living entities. So now what has Bakāsura done? Bakāsura has swallowed Krishna, but then Bakāsura felt this burning sensation and he was not able to hold Krishna, and so he had to put Krishna out again. No, and Srila Prabhupada explains how sometimes when one is diseased, and one may take a medicine. Say, especially if one is diseased, one has jaundice. If one has jaundice, then what is the cure for jaundice? Previously, for jaundice, there was only one cure, and that cure was sugar candy. But that sugar candy to the jaundice person would taste very, very bitter. It would taste very bitter. Of course, sugar is sweet, but it would taste bitter because the person is in a diseased condition. No. But what the person will do is, even though it tastes very bitter, he continues to take the bitter medicine because he has to be cured of that disease. Now, as he takes that bitter medicine, slowly he is cured of the disease, and then that very same sugar candy, that which was tasting bitter before, will now taste very, very sweet and very, very nice. No? In the same way, actually, Krishna, he has a very tender body. But Bakāsura is feeling that burning sensation because Bakāsura himself is in a disease condition. He is not able to.
Please mute the phone.
He is not able to relish this transcendental association that he has with Krishna. So therefore, he's not able to. He's feeling this burning sensation when Krishna is in his throat because he is in a disease state. He is in a disease state. In the same way, when we devotees, sometimes when we are starting off in our spiritual life, we may feel that there are too many restrictions. I have to give up meat eating. I have to give up intoxication, illicit sex and gambling. So it is not a very pleasant condition for me, but that is because I am in a diseased condition. I am not able to enjoy a life that is free from sinful activities. But the problem is that I am in a diseased condition, therefore I'm not able to enjoy. But as we continue in our spiritual life, if we chant our rounds, and if we give up these 4 sinful activities, then slowly when your body, your mind is free from sin, you will see how you will begin to enjoy and relish this nectar so much more, so much more. Bakāsura did not know that although Krishna was playing the part of a child of Nanda Maharaj, he was still the original father of Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe. Mother Yashoda's child, who was a reservoir of pleasure for the demigods and who was the maintainer of saintly persons, caught hold of the great gigantic heron and by the 2 halves of his beak, and before his cowherd boyfriends bifurcated his mouth, just as a child very easily splits a blade of grass. From the sky, the denizens of the heavenly planet showered flowers like the Mallika, the most fragrant of all flowers, as a token of their congratulations. Accompanying the showers of flowers was a vibration of bugles, drums, and conches. When the boys saw the showering of flowers and heard the celestial sounds, they were struck with wonder. And when they saw Krishna freed from the mouth of the great demon Bakāsura, all of them, including Balaram, were so pleased that it seemed as if they had regained their very source of life. As soon as they saw Krishna coming toward them, they one after another embraced the son of Nanda and held him to their chests. After this, they assembled all the calves under their charge and began to return home. So, Krishna has just bifurcated this great demon by the 2 halves of his beak. That's how he has killed this particular demon. Yeah, Upasana, you have your hand raised.
All these demons were sent by Kṛṣṇa, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Bakāsura in another story was killed by Bhima, right?
That is a different.
Are they same?
That's a different demon. This is a different demon, not the same.
Okay.
That's different.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hari, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, thank you. So this Vatsāsura and Bakāsura, they're both means this both the things are attacking Krishna simultaneously, or it's in happening after some
No, they are
time.
happening. They are two different incidents, separate incidents.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Shailesh?
I was just surprised by Balram is surprised that he is alive because he is supposed to know, right? That
Yeah.
Krishna is alive.
Yes, so Balaram knows, and sometimes he doesn't know. It's like sometimes you watch a movie, you know it's fiction, but still you get carried away with the emotions and you still cry, right? When you're seeing a movie, although you know it's fiction. So this can also happen sometimes. Okay. Deepa Vijay Kumar? You have
So, Hare Krishna. So, Gokul is in Mathura.
No, Mathura is different, Gokul is different, Vrindavan is different. They are very close, but these are different towns. Because Krishna was taken from Mathura. Mathura is the birthplace of Krishna. He was transferred from Mathura to Gokul at the time of birth, and from Gokul to Vrindavan, they have moved now.
Okay. So, do we have Gokul still in India?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Lavina.
Can you please read the first paragraph again?
This one?
Yeah, the first one. No. Yeah, this one, the first paragraph.
Bakāsura did not know that although Krishna was playing the part of a child of Nanda Maharaj, he was still the original father of Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe. Mother Yashoda's child, who was a reservoir of pleasure for the demigods, and who was a maintainer of saintly persons, caught hold of the great gigantic heron by the two halves of his beak, and before his cowherd friends bifurcated his mouth, just as a child very easily splits a blade of grass. From the sky, the denizens of the heavenly planet showered flowers like the Malika, the most fragrant of all flowers, as a token of their congratulations. Accompanying the showers of flowers was a vibration of bugles, drums, and conchs.
So actually, who was still the original father of Lord Brahma?
Krishna.
He means? Okay.
Yes, because remember, Krishna's first expansion in the material world is Mahavishnu. And from Mahavishnu comes Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and from the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu comes a lotus, and Brahma is on the lotus flower. So Brahma is coming from the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, who is coming from Mahavishnu, who is coming from, again, if we go through the sequence, again, he's coming from the second quadruple expansion, and we have then the Narayan, the first quadruple expansion, Balaram Krishna. So actually, Krishna is the father of all the living entities. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Bija Pradaha Pita. He is the seed-giving father of all the living entities, including Lord Brahma.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Koti Koti
Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. My humble request to all Vaishnava, please mute the phone because these Matajis or all the spiritual counselor are working hard. Not in a one day they will give a Krishna consciousness. One class they are working 3 to 4 weeks then, and they all are working. Still they are given a time 2 to 3 weeks for one seminar. So my humble request to meet the phone, and by Mataji, your permission, can I add something?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Siddham Vrindavan Dham ki jai. One Mataji asked the question. Siddham Vrindavan Dham, when Srimati Sisi Radharani came to this Prithvi Loka, she told to Lord Krishna that I need 4 things. Srimati Sisi Yamuna Maharani, Srimati Sisi Tulsi Maharani, Sisi Govardhan Dham, and Sri Vrindavan Dham Raj. Then only she will come in a material world. So Sisi Syamakunda, Sisi Radha Kunda, Sisi Gokul Dham, Sisi Balsana Dham, Sisi Vrindavan Dham, उसकी जो रज होती है वो भी सर चरणों पे लगाते हैं, सर पे लगाते हैं, क्योंकि वहां से सब गुरु ऋषि मुनि, लॉर्ड कृष्णा, बलराम जी, गोपी, यमुना, यशोदा माई, नंद बाबा सब पसार हुए। और कार्तिक मंथ में 1 महीने की चल के परिक्रमा होती है। एंड वहां के लता पता वृक्ष जो थे बहुत हजारों साल से वो कर रहे हजारों साल से तपस्या करते, तब वहां पे वृक्ष, तो हम जब यात्रा जाते तो गले लगाते. सो गोकुल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम, इफ यू गेट बाय द मर्सी ऑफ भक्ति देवी तुलसी और महारानी ओनली एंड सीसी गुरु परंपरा, सीसी सिक्स कोसा में आचार्य गण परमिशन ओनली, वी कैन एंटर इन सीताम वृंदावन धाम. So if you are staying in India, it's very easy. Please pray to Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani that we all abroad Vaishnava will come regularly in Kartik month, enter in Siddham Vrindavan Dham. Please pray for all of us. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for your sweet nectar. Thank you so much. Okay, Shailesh, you have your hand raised?
Just wanted to understand what do you mean by Vrajvasi? Is it a place or is it just a collection of people staying in a certain
The
zone or something like
inhabitants of Vraj are referred to as Vrajavasis. And all the inhabitants of Vraj, all the Vrajavasis, they are eternal associates of Krishna. They are not ordinary living entities. Even
So
one
when
ant
they
in
move from,
Vrindavan is not an ordinary living entity.
so are they Vrajvasis when they're in Gokul or Vrindavan
Yes,
or
that whole area in general is called as Vraj. They are all
so
small towns very close to each other. Like Mathura and Vrindavan is only a 20-minute drive.
So if a person staying in Mathura, he's also a Vrajvasi.
Yes, he is referred to as Vrajavasi. Is what is my understanding.
वो लगते हैं बहुत सिंपल से, बहुत ऐसे धूल वाले कपड़े में, बट दे आर नॉट ऑर्डिनरी पर्सनालिटी. दे केम फ्रॉम डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड. We have to understand that Brijvasi is not ordinary personality.
Yes, yes. Okay, coming back to Krishna book. When they arrived home, they spoke of the wonderful activities of the son of Nanda. When the gopis and cowherd men all heard the story from the boys, they felt great happiness because naturally they loved Krishna, and by hearing about his glories and victorious activities, they became still more affectionate toward him. Thinking that child Krishna had been saved from the mouth of death, they looked upon his face with great affection and love. They were full of anxiety and could not turn their faces from the vision of Krishna. The gopis and the men began to converse amongst themselves about how wonderful it was that child Krishna had been attacked in so many ways and so many times by so many demons, and yet the demons themselves had been killed and Krishna had remained uninjured. They continued to converse amongst themselves about how so many great demons in such fierce bodies had attacked Krishna to kill him, but by the grace of Hari had not been able to cause even a slight injury. Rather, they had died like small flies in a fire. Thus they remembered the words of Gargamuni, who had foretold by dint of his vast knowledge of the Vedas and astrology that this boy would be attacked by many demons. Now they were actually seeing that this was coming true word for word. All the cowherd men, including Nanda Maharaj, used to talk of the wonderful activities of Lord Krishna and Balaram, and they always were so much absorbed in those talks that they forgot the threefold miseries of this material existence. This is the effect of Krishna consciousness. What was enjoyed 5,000 years ago by Nanda Maharaj can still be enjoyed by Krishna conscious persons simply by talking about the transcendental pastimes of Krishna and his associates. Balaram and Krishna enjoyed their childhood pastimes imitating Lord Ramachandra's monkeys, who constructed the bridge over the ocean, and Hanuman, who jumped over the water to Ceylon. They used to imitate such pastimes among their friends and so happily passed their childhood life. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 11th chapter of Krishna, killing the demons Vatsāsura and Bakāsura. Okay, so what are the threefold miseries of material existence?
Birth, death,
birth,
night.
old age, and death.
No.
आदि दैविक, आदि भौतिक, आदि.
Yes, yes. So, the threefold miseries of material existence are one, those miseries that are caused by one's own body. So, sometimes we may have a diseased body. Uh, so, that is one of the three miseries of material existence. Then the miseries that are caused by other living entities. So sometimes we may be hassled by mosquitoes, flies, scorpions, and other living entities may cause us some problems. So miseries caused by other living entities. And third is miseries caused by disasters, earthquakes, famines, floods. So these are the three miseries of material existence. Adhyatmic, caused by our own body and mind. Adi Bhautik, caused by others, and Adi Daivik, caused by the natural disasters. So these are the threefold miseries of material existence. These miseries do not exist in the spiritual world. These miseries do not exist in the spiritual world. Yeah, Naresh, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, my question is that Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata and Rohini Devi were also present when these demons were being killed?
No, they were not present because this happened when they had gone, Krishna and Balaram and the boys had gone to the forest. At that time, these demons were killed. So they were not present over there at that time. They did not see this happening.
Because it's over here saying that including Nanda Maharaj used to talk of the wonderful activities.
Yeah, they are talking about the wonderful activities of Lord Krishna and Balaram. So later they will hear, no, that this demon was killed. This is what Krishna did. So they hear from the other boys.
Okay,
So they are talking about the wonderful activities of Krishna and Balaram.
thank you.
You're welcome. See, if you go to Vrindavan, there is this place called Manasi Ganga. And this was manifested because Krishna had killed a calf demon. So let us see this story. Ganga wanted a place like Yamuna and Vrindavan, which Krishna fulfilled by manifesting the Ganga out of his mind. On behalf of her sister Ganga, Yamuna requested Krishna to give Ganga a place like hers in Vrindavan. Krishna assured her that her wish would soon come true. Not long after that, Krishna slayed another demon in Vrindavan, a demon disguised as a calf, Vatsāsura. The gopis, however, boycotted him, accusing him of killing a calf. They demanded that he purify himself by bathing in the Ganges. Krishna, not wanting to leave Vrindavan, thought of an idea. He manifested the Ganga out of his mind near Govardhan hill. Gopis, however, doubted this Ganga to be the real one. Krishna, to prove authenticity, called out, "O Mother Ganga!" To everyone's surprise, Mother Ganga appeared on her vehicle, the Makara. All the gopis, including Radhika, offered their respects and happily bathed in the manifested river. As a result, the Manasi Ganga became a sacred and holy place of pilgrimage, and Ganga's intense desire was fulfilled. So this Manasi Ganga was manifested by Krishna after he killed Vatsāsura. Now, if you go to Vrindavan on the way to Govardhan, then you can visit this Manasi Ganga. And see here, I just put an excerpt from Garga Samhita, Madhyalila chapter 5, just to give us an idea how powerful these demons are, because one may just think that, okay, there was this demon and Krishna bifurcated him or whatever. But when we read how much the demigods were hassled, we will know a little bit more about how formidable these demons were. So let's read. Sri Narada said, so Garga Samhita was composed by Garga Muni upon the advice of Narada Muni. So Narada Muni said, one day as he was herding the calves in the company of Balaram and the boys, Krishna saw a great duck demon by the Yamuna shore. Its form a white mountain, its feet gigantic, its quacking the rumbling of clouds, and its beak a thunderbolt. The demon swallowed Lord Krishna as the boys fled. All the boys wept as if they had lost their lives. All the demigods came and cried out, alas, alas. Bringing this very powerful thunderbolt, Indra struck the demon. With that blow, the demon fell, but he did not die. Again the demon stood up. Then Brahma became angry and with his Brahma Danda struck the demon. With that blow, the demon fell and was unconscious for 2 Ghatikas. So 1 Ghatika equals 24 minutes. The powerful demon did not die. He shook his body, yawned again, stood up and roared like a cloud. With his trident, Shiva struck the great demon. 1 wing was cut off, but still the very fearful demon did not die. With his wind weapon, Vayu struck the duck demon. The duck flew away and then returned with his Yamadanda. Yama struck the demon. With that blow, the very powerful duck did not die. Indeed, the Yamadanda became broken, but the duck was not hurt. Then powerful Surya approached. The archer Surya struck the demon duck with 100 sharp arrows flying to his wing. The duck did not die. With a sharp sword, Kuvera attacked the demon. His second wing was cut away, but the great demon did not die. With his ice weapon, Soma struck the great duck. Tormented by the cold, the demon fainted, but then again he stood up. With his fire weapon, Agni struck the great duck. Even though his feathers were burned to ashes, the very wicked demon did not die. Varuna bound him with a rope and dragged him across the ground. From dragging, the great sinner was hurt, but he did not die. Then powerful goddess Bhadrakali struck him with a mace. With that blow, he fainted and fell into deep coma. His head broken, the very wicked and powerful demon duck rose, shook his body, and roared like a thundering cloud. Then Kartikeya threw his Shakti weapon at him. Although one of his feet was cut, that demon, the best of birds, did not die. Then, roaring like thunder, the demon angrily chased the demigods with his sharp beak, made them flee. The demigods flew into the sky, and the demon, filling the circle of the directions with sound, flew after them. Then all the Devarishis, Brahmarishis, and Brahmanas offered blessings to Nanda's son, Kṛṣṇa. Then from inside the duck, Kṛṣṇa expanded his glorious form. His throat broken, the great duck at once vomited Kṛṣṇa out. So after this, of course, we know what happened. So just see, so many demigods also, they attacked him with their weapons, very, very powerful, potent weapons, but they were not able to kill this demon. So all these demons that Kṛṣṇa killed were actually very, very, very powerful demons. And that's why we saw that when this demon was killed, the demigods were showering flowers and they were praising and they were glorifying Kṛṣṇa. So one must not think that, okay, Kṛṣṇa is killing the demons and the demons are becoming liberated. So better I become a demon and then I will be killed by Kṛṣṇa and Kṛṣṇa will liberate me. No, we cannot even become that kind of a demon that Kṛṣṇa will personally come to kill us. Okay, so these are very, very powerful demons. So it's better to become a devotee, easier to become a devotee. So now, as we have discussed previously also, each demon represents an anartha. So let's discuss the anarthas that Vatsāsura and Bakāsura represent. So Vatsāsura represents the anartha of Bal dosh. And Bakāsura represents the anartha of Dharma Kapatyam. So let us see from Kṛṣṇa Samhita. This Kṛṣṇa Samhita was composed by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he writes, the living entities are sober by nature, but when they are disturbed due to possessing a body made of blood and flesh, it is called Bal dosh or juvenile offenses. This is the fourth obstacle in the form of Vatsāsura. So Bal dosh means juvenile offenses. Okay, so Klim, you need to please stop writing on the screen. Okay. So juvenile offenses. So sometimes when we are new in Krishna consciousness, or we are becoming devotees, or we are trying to become devotees, or we are starting off on the path of Krishna consciousness, we may commit some offenses out of childish mentality. So this is the offense that is being depicted by Vatsāsura, who came in the form of a calf. He came in the form of a calf. So therefore, we should avoid these juvenile offenses as far as possible, because that can be an obstacle in our growth in Krishna consciousness, Also, sometimes children also, they commit offenses, they make mistakes. So it is a duty of the parents, duty of the seniors, duty of the superiors, or duty of the senior devotees to correct the juvenile offenses or the mistakes that are being made by our children, or that are being made by new devotees that are being cultivated in Krishna consciousness. No? Because if we don't correct our children, if we do not correct our those whom we are cultivating Krishna consciousness, then again that will become a hindrance. It's not good for the well-being of those very people. So therefore, it's very, very important that these offenses are curbed, are checked. Yeah, Shailesh, you have your hand raised.
just wanted to understand why is it called a Bala Dushanam? Because Vatsāsura had come there with the intention, right? He wanted to bring harm to Krishna.
No, no,
He
but
had
he
come
came in
with
the
an
form of a
intent.
calf. He came in the form of a calf. No, calf is the young one of a cow. So because he came in the form of a young one of a cow, so Bal Dosh.
Okay. Matlab, it is because of the form that he came, not
Yes.
due to, not
Yes,
on
yes.
account of his intent.
No, no, because of the form that he took. Okay, then coming to Bakāsura. Bakāsura represents Dharma Kapatyam, which means Dharma Kapatyam means cheating religion, cheating religion. So the most clever Bakāsura, who is the personification of cheating religion, is the fifth obstacle for Vaishnavas. Remember, he is the fifth demon we are dealing with. So fifth obstacle for the Vaishnavas. This is called Nama Parad, offenses against the holy name of the Lord. Those who do not understand their qualification but accept the instruction of a bogus guru and engage in the worship, in the process of worship meant for exalted devotees, are treated as like people. And those who have understood their ineligibility, yet with a goal to accumulate money and prestige, still follow the process of worship meant for exalted devotees, are called cheaters. Until this cheating in the name of religion is destroyed, one's attachment will not awaken. Such people deceive the entire world by making a show of sectarian formalities and pseudo renunciation. Pseudo renunciation. Those who see and respect such proud people's show of external formalities cannot attain love for Krishna and are like thorns in the side of the world. It is to be understood here that one should not disrespect a swan like person just because he has accepted the external formalities that are generally considered detestable. It is the external duty of Vaishnavas to develop the symptoms of love by associating with and serving devotees while remaining indifferent to external formalities. Yes, Shailesh, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I didn't understand how that was applicable to this particular demon, Bakasura.
Okay,
We are
so we
saying that
saw Bakasura
he's a cheater.
is a duck demon, right? So
Right.
what do they do in the water? They are standing on one leg, their eyes are closed, and they stand still, right? They stand still, and it appears as though they are meditating or they are very peaceful and they're very renounced, no? But actually, they are standing still in the water because they want to catch a fish that is swimming. So when they stand still and then the fish comes, the fish thinks that, okay, this person is not going to harm me. And when the fish is near them, then they grab that fish. So pseudo religion means these people who externally they look like devotees, no? But actually they are not renounced. They are not renounced. They still are into material sense gratification. Just as how that bird is standing on one feet, it appears that he is meditating, renounced, and he's very peaceful. But actually, no, he's waiting for his food. So this is why Dharma Kapatyam. Okay.
I have one point.
Yes.
It is third and fourth offenses. Which are the first and second?
Okay, so the first offense we saw was that of Putana. Remember, the first demon that Krishna killed was Putana, and Putana also represented the pseudo guru, the false guru, because she dressed up as a very beautiful young 16-year-old girl, and she captivated everyone, but actually she was a demon in disguise. So Putana represents the pseudo guru. Then second demon we saw Shakatasura. Shakatasura represented the cartload of old and new habits that we are carrying from our so many old habits, and also the burden of following the regulative principles without really understanding the meaning behind it. If we don't understand the meaning behind why we should refrain from meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling, then uh, uh, it will be a heavy load for us. It will be a heavy load for us. So we may start to question, oh, but no, what is wrong? The doctor says I need protein, so I have to build up my muscles. It's good for my health. Otherwise, I'll fall sick. And so many other excuses we'll come up with, no, for meat eating. But if we actually understand that at one plate of meat or that one plate of food that is not offered to the Lord is actually coming in the way of me finding a bona fide spiritual master. That one glass of whiskey or that one cigarette or that one glass, one cup of tea or coffee is keeping me away from getting the greatest mercy from the Lord. When we actually understand that, then following these regular principles will not be a burden on us. Then it will not be a burden on us. So, Shakatasura represents the burden of following regulative principles out of formality without actually understanding the purpose behind it. Okay, so that is Shakatasura. And third, we saw Trinavarta. Trinavarta represented the false and misleading, pointless arguments that one may engage in, and these pointless arguments will take us away from Krishna. Just as how Trinavarta came and took Krishna away from Vrindavan, no? So when one is engaging in pointless arguments, one does not put his faith in Guru Sadhu Shastra, then that is the anartha that is represented by Trinavarta. And then 4 and 5 we saw today. Okay, so what y'all can do is, in a previous homework, I had requested y'all to please make a list of the demons, their past life, and the anarthas. So now as we proceed with the different demons, you can go on adding it to your table. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I ask you something?
Yes.
So Bakāsura is a fish, the one-legged fish, right?
He's a duck demon.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, the past lives of Vatsāsura from the Garga Samhita and the past life of Bakāsura from the Garga Samhita, I'm going to keep for you as homework. You can read this when I share the slides in the group. Okay. So with this, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, we come to the end of today's presentation. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Do we have any questions or comments?
जी श्रीना माता जी की जय, कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी, अनंत कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम तो जय पत्ता का मारा. थैंक यू माता जी. जय श्रील प्रभु.
Jai Mataji, thank you so much. Are we ready for the test? Okay, the link is there in your chat.
Chat or messages?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I did not get the link.
Okay, I'll share it again in the chat.
Thank you.